quest number 2. You're going to gather your blocks with Trudy. So you're going to log into the app and you're going to drag and modify some of the blocks that you'll need for quest 3, 4, and 5. And that's it. Trudy's really chill. Details start on the next slide, and Emily's going to show us how to complete quest number 2.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to hop between some tabs here, and we are going to be dragging out blocks and then modifying little parts of them. You don't need to do anything with the blocks on your screen at this point. This is just getting students ready to use those blocks later. So you can just drag them out and leave them. So to start off, we're going to start with our lights block. I'm going to hop right into the app. We're going to drag out 2 of them right now. So I'm going to go under lights and drag out light splat and light splat. And I noticed that one of them was switched to a different color. I think it was switched to red. So I want to switch this one to red. All right, next step, we are going to be dragging out our stopwatch control blocks. So we're going to go underneath controls, drag out start stopwatch, drag out stop stopwatch. And that's all we need. Onward. Next, we're going to need our starting blocks. We have 2 different types of starting blocks in the app, and we're going to need both of them. So for this one, let's drag out when program starts and when splat press. When splat press. When program starts. Awesome. On this slide, you're just going to be walking through with students how to duplicate blocks if they've never done that before. It's a super helpful tool. We use it all the time. So in order to do that, if you are on a Chromebook, you are going to right click, or sometimes that's a 2-finger click. And it's going to bring up this menu, and then you're going to hit duplicate. I'm going to show you what that looks like in a second. If you're on an iPad, you're going to be pressing and holding on that block, and then it will bring up the menu. So I'm going to hop in here, and we're going to be duplicating our when splat press block. So go on here, right click, duplicate. Now I've got 2. All right, let's see what's next. Now we're going to be changing the splat number. This is something that you're going to be needing to do basically throughout the whole rest of the quest. So learning to change those splat numbers and to check them. They're the most common spot for some bugs. So let's change this one to splat 2. Right. Next, we're going to drag out some sound blocks and some little modifier blocks that we were going to put in there to play our sounds. So this one is our animal sounds menu. I'm going to show you how to drag that out. And this block is actually from our lights menu, but it's super helpful. It is what allows for you to do everything on all of your splats. So we use that one quite a bit too. So let's drag that out.
And we also have a sounds and music. They both will play sounds, but we wanted to separate the music from the rest of the general sounds.
One other thing to note, we've got 2 sound blocks. For most programs, it doesn't really matter which one you use. We tend to use play sound until done as just a general best practice, because if you play this one and say you stomp on a splat or you stop a stopwatch, if a sound is playing, it will be interrupted. But with this one, the sound will continue to play all the way until it's done. So you won't be interrupted mid-meow or mid-elephant sound. There's that. Let's drag out our animal sounds. We're right there.
All.
Yeah. Got them. All right, next we're going to be going and looking at some math blocks. So probably our most popular math block is our random number block. So this allows for you to pick between a random number, between 1 and whatever number you'd like, or really between any 2 numbers you'd like. Super useful. You can kind of think of it as how many sides would you like to have on your die. So we're going to actually use that one in one of our splat block or our light splat blocks. Let's hop back over here. So we're going to add a random number block here. You'll notice that this automatically fills with 14. The reason why it fills with 14 is because there are 14 LEDs inside your splats. So oftentimes we'll use this random number block if you want to like do some sort of little animation on your LEDs. In this case, we are probably going to be using it to be picking between 6 splats. So that's why we got it as a 6. All right. Next thing we're going to be doing is dragging out our repeat block. This is also a super popular block. It saves you so much time. So we're going to go into controls and then find our repeat. Sorry, down here. And what number did we have on that? We had 12. Just practicing changing those numbers. All right, now we're gonna go to step 9. So these little bitty blocks on here are actually very useful blocks whenever it comes down to creating a game, which your students are gonna be doing in quest number 5. So I'm gonna really briefly talk through these and then show you how to find them in the app. So these blocks here are from our sensing block category. You can use these whenever you're trying to sense maybe if a splat in this case is a particular color in order to either stop a stopwatch, give a point, or do anything else. So really useful, those sensing blocks, because it allows for you to check, which is what we're doing down here, to see if something is what we want. So we're checking the color, and we're going to be using this conditional statement block. It's an if do block to use that check. And then we're going to be using this math block, which sounds really fancy, but it really is just, you can drop down this equals block and see like if our splat color equals green, then we can do something else. So those are super useful. You can also not have this be an equal sign. So you can change it to be a less than sign, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to, lots of options. And then this block right here is just a random block. This is for lights. So we can light up our sound or our splats are random color. Ooh, all right, let's try this out.
If do.
If do.
All.
One second. I'm going to modify my if do block. When you drag out an if do block, it will automatically have else on the bottom. You can leave that else as like a little dangly else if you'd like to. If you don't want it, you can just click on this gear and then it will remove it. You can then add them back and add as many else's as you'd like. But we're not going to do that.
All right, so now you knew an all from the sensing. You need a math block, the comparison one. And there's one more.
Well, let me check. Random number or random color.
Yeah, random, yeah, and splat color under sensing.
Okay. So this one is actually underneath green. I'll need to change that to random. And then black color. So like I was rambling through before, you can have your program check all sorts of different things. But we're going to be using color in our example later on, so we'll use that one.
Yeah, you can kind of think of this activity as like a little scavenger hunt for your students if they don't have a ton of experience interacting with the app.
Awesome. So hopping back into our slide deck right here, when you're done, all of your students should have a whole bunch of different blocks all across their coding screen. They'll look just like this. We're going to be using these in the next parts in quests 3 and 4 and 5. So you've got everything that you need out on your screen.
And if you need to return to this activity at a later time, you can save it and then just load it up again when you're ready to start on quest number 3.
That's a great point. Man, I didn't save my program.
Gotta save. You never know when there's going to be a fire drill or you need a nap or you're hungry, bathroom break, 20-minute bathroom break.
All right, I'm going to click save. And then just in case, that fire drill might happen, I'm going to go underneath projects and I'm going to sync to the game locker. This means that if I log back into my profile on a different Chromebook, I'll be good to go.
Yep, and you saw that the light went from yellow to green. That means it's all done. All right. So saving it, which we just showed you, and then sync it up, which we just showed you. And then you're all set. Success. You did it. Enjoy this delicious bowl of grass, which is what wombats love to eat. And then they poop out squares.
They do. My favorite animal fact.